Okay. So today we're going to talk about sustainability in the supply chain. Okay, sustainability in the supply chain in relation to operations management. Okay, right. Um, so by the end of this chapter, you should be able to define corporate social responsibility, CSR, because it's related to sustainability. How the book combines together, okay, sustainability and CSR, corporate social responsibility. So, and of course, defining, describing sustainability and explaining the basic 3 Rs for sustainability: reduce, reuse, recycle. Okay. Uh, so we look at that concept, but of course today is some books write about 6R, remanufacturing and so on. But anyway, we'll just discuss the basic ones. And I would also like to introduce a simple cost-benefit analysis, a simple calculation for you to be aware of analysis for design for disassembly. So the concept is designed for disassembly today. And also look at the impact of sustainable regulations on operations. There are many laws and regulations today that didn't exist 20 years ago. Okay, 20 years ago there were not much regulation on environmental sustainability, social impact. So today there's a lot of regulations on this, and you should be aware of it. You should know about this. Right. So companies produce products and services. We have seen it, right? We've seen many companies, and you know many companies actually produce products, services. So will products and services affect people and environment? The answer is obviously. Akiko, will product and services affect people and environment? The first question here. Will it affect? Answer is Kiko na yo. I cannot hear you. Will products or services affect people and environment, Sarah?
Yes.
Obviously, yes. Obviously, yes. The answer is
yes.
definitely yes. But the next question is, in what ways? Sarah, in what ways does product and services affect people and the environment?
For example, if one company produce too many products, it will be connected to ruin the environment.
Too many products ruining the environment. Okay, too much products and not being consumed, for example. Okay.
Yeah.
So many ways. I always say this. Companies does not exist in vacuum. You know vacuum? Vacuum cookie knife, vacuum. So organizations exist in society. Correct? So it affects in many ways in terms of social impact and so on. So we'll see that. That's why it's called corporate social responsibility, especially when there is what do you call, let me use my pen, fail issues. Can you think of any fail issues in terms of environmental or social or ethical? You know, organizations have issues that affect. Can you think of, can you give one example? Just think of any example that you can think of.
For example, I think Starbucks made the paper straw.
Paper straw?
Yeah, the paper straw. Is it straw?
Okay, those are good issues. It's fail issues.
But I heard that
it's failed. It's not working. Okay, it's not working.
Yeah, and it ruined the environment when they making the paper straw.
Right. Okay, so that is one. One. Okay, what else? Shu, any idea?
I think some plants maybe will discharge of sewage.
Yeah, okay, pollution. Okay, pollution,
Yes.
air pollution, land pollution. All these are actually, the stakeholders are the customers, the society, people that live around the factory. Okay, so those are, especially when there are field issues. So doing what's right is beneficial, can be beneficial to all stakeholders, everyone who has interest. All right, society has a lot of interest, right? So then that's why when we talk about corporate shows social responsibility, the responsibility of companies producing products, it is produce products that are safe for use, doesn't pollute and so on. So what is CSR? Can you define what is CSR from your own words? Akiko. Or you can read from the book, it's okay. The book also gives some examples or as a definition. So what is corporate social responsibility? Any idea? So a formal definition, a formal explanation when you say what is corporate social responsibility. Okay. Right, I was here just now when the internet Murphy's law states that anything can go wrong will go wrong. Okay, so always believe in that, always believe in Murphy's law. Okay, let me just show you what and simple example as an explanation of CSR. CSR, corporate social responsibility, is the managerial decision making that considers environmental, societal, and financial impacts. Okay, that is one of definition. Okay, but the thing is that when you talk about social responsibility, companies must create shared values. Okay, when they try to actually achieve this society what do you call impacts. Okay, they give back to society. That is something which is what is called a shared values. What does Tesla, Toyota, and Nissan have in common? What business are they in? Miho, what business are Tesla, Toyota, Nissan? What business are they in?
Vehicle company.
Big company making
Vehicle.
making cars. Okay, making
Making
vehicles.
cars.
Okay,
Yeah.
automotive manufacturers. So for example, if they were like they have a society have low emission car target, okay, low emission cars, and they have also electric vehicles for the battery. So this is something that they share. They want to actually produce cars that actually safe and also low emission and low gasoline, for example. So this is the thing that they want to they can share, and they can jointly develop battery or shared technology so that society will benefit. Okay, they have a common like EV batteries. Okay, so few manufacturers supply to the same. You don't have to, resources is very limited. You cannot be, competing and fighting for limited resources. The world, it has limited resources. So we shouldn't be fighting for limited resources. Okay. So the concept of shared values is actually very important in CSR. So when we say shared values, it means developing policies and practices that enhance competitiveness of organization while advancing the economic and social condition in the communities in which it operates. Okay, shared values. And when you talk about corporate social responsibility or even sustainability, okay, sustainability relating to our responsibility, economic, social, and environment, it is from the supply chain management to product design to production to packaging to logistics. How do we build sustainability from all these processes or all these functions? We need to have sustainable supply chain, sustainable product design, sustainable production, and sustainable, all sustainable. Less energy, less waste, okay, less resources. Okay, so that's the, and also provide opportunity for shared value and meeting their corporate social responsibility goals, right? So the world, you know, the society will gain, the customers will gain, the customers will get benefit, okay? Right, so that brings us to the concept of sustainability, because it's always associated with CSR, okay? If you look at, if you have seen United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, you know, reducing poverty, quality water for, you know, for human beings. So those many are actually related to social responsibility of companies. Not only companies, but government, universities all have responsibilities. So I ask another question: what is sustainability? So we go to the next question. So what is sustainability? Okay, Miho, what is sustainability? What do you understand from the word sustainability?
Sustainability. Yeah, I know. What's it explain? Yeah. Sustainability. 持続可能性 in Japanese.
日本語は何？
持続可能性。
持続、あ、きくは何ですか？翻訳して。
持続可能性 in Japanese.
あ、サステナビリティは持続。あ、それか。でも、何ですか？
How can I explain?
日本語も大丈夫よ。
日本語大丈夫？持続可能性は、in the future.
In future, okay.
In future, how can I say? Yeah, we keep our earth safety and how can I say?
Resources は日本語は何ですか？
資源。資源。
資源は resources ね。Earth resources. So we keep Earth resources for future generation. If we don't consume, we don't use all the resources. We don't pollute the water. We don't, you know, damage the sea. For example, today, you know, because we use a lot of plastics, there is a plastic Shima, plastic island in Pacific, and you know, so those damage. So sustainability, very simple, is in English is meeting the needs of the present. We meet the needs of the now, imano, without compromising ability of future generations to meet their needs. Okay, so future generations no hits you. So we sustainable our development, our usage. So that is very important to understand. Meeting the needs of. It is more than going green. Not only green, it's more than green. Green dake dewan. Green is more environment green. But financial sustainability, social, people. Okay, so not only green, always only environment. It must include employees, customer, community, and company reputation, so that we, you know, we take care of that. So in the book, it says that before we talk about sustainability decision, we need to focus on three things. Number one is we must look at the systems view. System means big picture. Systems view. Okay, any sustainability decisions, And there is a concept called commons. Sorry, what? Resources, resources, commons, common. And also finally, we talk about triple bottom line. This is common, triple bottom line wa yoku skaimasu ne. Triple bottom line. Okay. Hajimete, triple bottom line. Triple bottom line. Okay, never mind. I will explain to you after this. Okay. So we have these three concepts which is important. Now I will explain to you. System view. What is system view? System view, I say overall, okay? But in general, we must look at the product life from design to disposal. That means if I design a handphone, I must design for end of life. So it must have recycle, reuse, okay, how to recover. So not old concept, design product, then go to landfill. You know landfill? Landfill, landfill, throw to the, and, but in Japan, maybe is burn. They send it to the, what do you call it? I forgot the word, but dispose, okay, it's being thrown away or not. So that's number one, design until disposal. The product itself is small part of much larger, because the product is only just one portion. It's not, it's small part of the much larger social, economic, and environmental system that you must actually consider. Will it, what is the linkage? We do not make a handphone just from just one material, hundreds of material, hundreds of processes. Okay, and so there's many impact. And also we actually need to understand the systems that actually allow more informed judgment regarding sustainability. That means we need a lot of information about how products are being made. But today we are exposed to many information sources. That's system view. System is total view. Commons. Common, the inputs to production, when there are things which are in the public or in commons, common. Everyone is these are called common resources like water, air, land, minerals, jungle more, wood are common. So if nobody control, then everyone just cut down the trees, use. But if it is managed, okay, that is very important. So common resources are often misallocated, abuse. Okay, abuse. Water can be abused, air. Okay, so possible solutions including to make this common become private property. Okay, not public property, but someone own it. Okay, I own this so that I can make a better decision. Or you allocate rights, give some rights. For example, establish fish boundaries. Some of the international community, they have issue with Japanese fishing boundary because fishing is too open, right? So there is something that can be considered. Or regulation, make regulation, make law, which is the commons, the resources. You have obligation to care for the commons. So you need law for this basically. So countries or even governments need to actually establish law to manage commons. Okay, common resources. Any questions? Any question? So system, commons, and the third thing is, this is always what people talk about sustainability. So this is the common thinking in sustainability. 3P. Nani 3P? People.
People, planet, profit.
Okay. What is planet?
Earth.
Yeah, sorry, ne. So you know, but Earth is actually is also they put it under environment. So people is sometimes they call it social. So triple constraint, triple bottom line. Sorry, some books will write TBL, to triple bottom line. So consider the system necessary to support the three P's. If you look at this diagram, what is the word say here? What's the word written here? What is that word? Sarah, what is the word there? What's the word written there?
Minimize
Minimize. What do you minimize?
raw material, the raw material, energy, water, and waste.
Yes. Okay. And this is the supply chain. Wakaru? So supply chain is product design, raw material, transportation. How sustainable is the transportation? So we look into that. That is logistics. How sustainable is manufacturing? Manufacturing, do you use a lot of energy? Do you use a lot of waste in the material? Nakara mudah ne. Toyota production system is actually already started sustainability. Maybe. You know Toyota production system, lean manufacturing, transport, consume. So this is, and you maximize the triple bottom line. Maximize your planet, your resources, people. People means when you do the work, it is safe. It is not stress, not work. Human being can work only 10 hours, 8 hours a day. Can you work 24 hours a day? Akiku. Dekiruka. You work 24 days, 20 hours. Tomorrow you work another 24 hours. Dekiruka.
No.
Sustainable ka? Sustain ka? So
No.
each word is sustain means can you continue? Begina ne. Ningen da kara. Ningen need rest. Machine need rest. Not if profit, but of course maximize means you balance the people and the planet. Okay, so people, I briefly, I think you understand this concept. Very easy. Okay, so triple bottom line, people. So all decisions affect people. And today we talk about globalization and outsourcing. Outsourcing, what is outsourcing? Sarah, what is outsourcing?
Make
Outside, outside factory make.
Yeah.
Outside factory make. I'm main manufacturer, but outsource. So you have to outsource to China. Is China providing good working conditions? Do you think they provide good salary? Do you think so? This is social issues. Okay, that must be overcome. That's why it's complicated. Globalization and outsourcing will complicate this trying to balance or to maximize people so that we safe working environment, good salary, and people satisfy. So selection of supplier is very important because you talk about good suppliers or manufacturers that can give the people ability to actually good work and also perform. Okay, and also you talk about using people. Materials must be safe and environmentally responsible. That means the material that you use, the worker must be protected. They have safety protectors that they have to use, for example. Okay, so many other things. The first is people. For example, Walmart objective is given in the book. Walmart is one of big what do you call super retail store in US. Okay, improving livelihood through the creation of productive, healthy, and safe workplaces. So that's their target in terms of, you know, when they audit the suppliers, they focus on people aspect. They build strong communities through access to affordable, high quality services, prevent exposure to substances that are considered harmful or toxic, safety to the employees, and promoting health and wellness. So people become one of their objective, okay, so that you sustain. Okay, we go on. Okay, planet environment. This the environment. So we want to look ways to reduce environmental impact of operations. Do you understand environmental impact like pollution, water pollution, air pollution, land pollution? Okay, so that is our responsibility. And the overarching in the overall or the main objective is to conserve scarce resources, limited resources. That's why I say our resources is very limited. If you abuse the resources, then future generations will be affected. Okay, so scarce resources. And today we are talking about carbon footprint, greenhouse gas emission affecting the ozone. So all these are actually already implemented in many companies and organizations. We can look at an example like carbon footprint. So for 34.5 grams bag of Frito-Lay chips, this is what it is estimated. Okay, they have some calculations and they do this. So total carbon footprint for this Frito-Lay chips is 75 grams of carbon. Okay, so the target is reduce the carbon footprint. For example, now I have class with you in online, so I don't use the travel the aeroplane and so this reduce a lot of carbon footprint. Okay, so we are contributing to the conservation of planet's environment. Okay, right. So you can it has been done what do you call for many other things. Okay, so we have seen two already. What we have seen? We have seen people. Okay, many other things. In fact, in people, they have social impact assessment. I didn't mention just now, but social impact assessment is also used to evaluate the impact on society or the people. When you set up a factory, what is the social impact? The effect of the people around there. Okay, but for environment, you have environmental impact assessment, EIA. You can Google EIA, environmental impact assessment, EIA. There is a method to do that. Okay, have you seen it before, Mihoko? Impact assessment, environmental impact assessment, EIA. Kita kotonai. Okay, demo you can Google environmental impact assessment. So those two are important. But companies also must make profit. Okay, you cannot say you must protect the environment and protect the environment and you make a loss. So that is not the a reason for being in business. Or even in government. The government do not make profit, but government at least must have revenue or income to survive. Okay. So social and environmental sustainability do not exist without economic sustainability. You cannot just spend money on social, do CSR projects, have this, there's a lot of CSR project, right? go to the beach, clean up the beach. So it's a CSR project by the company or the. I know Japanese companies and organization. You have a lot of this, social responsibility and also volunteerism activities. But coming back to this, so do not exist without economic sustainability. That means the organizations must make profit. Staying in business require making a profit. Full stop. No profit, damai. That's all. You cannot just, But there are also, you need to actually measure not only just profit, but also alternate measures of success also include the risk profile of the organization in terms of, safety, working operations, risk to the usage of resources, or even intellectual property. So not only profit can be a measure, there are also many other measures in terms of employee morale, company valuation. So there are many other things, okay, that can also be used as a measure of how good the company is, okay, how highly performing is the company. But normally, people from finance will always look at what we call money and profit only. So supplement financial accounting, you need to supplement or you need to actually show some kind of social accounting in terms of brand equity, in terms of HC is human capital development and benefits, research and development efforts, and also philanthropic. Philanthropic means how much you give back to society, how much you actually, for example, you give donations. Do you know donations? You give donations to schools or to government departments. Okay, so not only financial accounting, but the concept of social accounting must also be considered by companies as well. Okay, right. So that is sustainability. Sustainability is the 3 Ps. But to achieve sustainability, it's not easy. It is not easy. Okay, it requires a lot of effort, and there are many things that needs to be done. And companies are doing it actually. Many companies are doing it today, especially those which are actually coming from regulations. Okay, law requires to do certain things. Okay, like end of life requirements, and it must begin from design. Okay, design and production for sustainability. Right. There is a concept called life cycle assessment. Life cycle. So assessment is being done. I'm looking at the watch so that I do not, accelerate. I do not exceed the time for you to for the test. Okay, so I'm trying to simplify as much as possible. So life cycle assessment evaluates the environmental impact of a product. Okay, this is not environmental impact, but this is on the product itself. Life cycle, from raw material and energy inputs all the way to the disposal of the product at its end of life. For example, a car, it would actually look at the raw material that is used and how much energy, that has been used in order for, for example, producing one part, and then assembling the car in the factory until disposal. How many percent can be recycled back? How many percent of the components can be used back? Okay, so there is a concept called design for remanufacturing, design for disassembly. So they design so that it's easily to disassemble. You don't want to design product that is very difficult to disassemble, to break it back into its original parts. So they do life cycle assessment and look at how good the design is in terms of sustainability. So the goal is to make decisions that will help to reduce the environmental impact of a product. That means if they use materials which are actually recyclable, or material which are actually doesn't destroy the environment, not only recyclable but biodegradable. Have you heard of the word biodegradable? Biodegradable means you put into soil, it will actually biodegradable. It will actually break up faster. Okay, if you plastics, if you put it on the soil, okay, it take years to be broken down into it is small components. So the decision is to reduce the environmental impact of the product. And the 3R used in design and production is when they design, they will think about whether can you reduce the material? Can you reuse the material? Can you recycle back the material or parts or components? Okay, so that is the 3R concept: reduce, reuse, recycle. So we start by product design. Okay, so when you think about sustainability, design decisions will affect materials, quality, cost, processes, and also packaging and logistics. Any decision on design will affect the following process, the following steps. Packaging, how do you package this? Okay, what transportation do you need to use? And also, how will it be processed when discarded or end of useful life? When you discard it, you cannot just throw it into the garbage bin, you know. But I know Japan is very advanced. You have plastic bottles, moiru mono. So you have the recycle, and also the sustainability has been long been practiced in design as well. Okay. So in product design, when you incorporate systems view, for example, you want to lower the environmental impact. You want to reduce the environmental impact. For example, you say reduce waste, reduce energy costs. There are examples given in the book, which is actually this type. Okay, type is sorry. New detergent. If you read here, new detergent clean using cold water. That means this is a type of detergent that cleans in cold water. When you use hot water, okay, you use more energy. So if you use cold water, and it actually saves 3/4 of energy usage in a typical watch. Okay, so 75% reduction in by using this cold water. In Malaysia, we use cold water. I know we don't wash in hot water. Nihon no bai wa you wash in hot water, I know. Or you don't. Mix tabun. Mix maybe, okay. But in, let me see, and many other things, like you can Google. Okay, there's so many examples. For example, this can you see Mieru? Miemasu ka? Mienai. Asoka. Mienai. So you can Google it. You can just type Coca-Cola using recycled bottle caps. Dasani is a water. Okay, they use. So they incorporate in product design using recycled bottle caps. And product design, there are so many other examples as well. Alternative materials. Some of these materials probably you will hear it first time. Okay, but in engineering, alternative materials. But of course, development can be expensive. R&D, takai R&D, develop. Aircraft and automakers, aircraft manufacturers, Boeing, Airbus, constantly looking for lighter materials. Lighter, karui no zairo, karui zairo, naze karui zairo. 答えはここにありますね。ここも書いています。Fuel economy, less carbon emission. Sarah, わかるか? Fuel economy, less carbon emissions. For example, Mercedes building exterior from banana fiber, which is biodegradable and lightweight. Lightweight, if the car is lighter, then it uses less petrol, less fuel. Okay. Ford using this is upholstery is interior seat and also the head lining, okay, made from recycled plastic bottle and old clothing. Boeing using fiber, epoxy composites, and sorry, this is titanium, wrong spelling, titanium and graphite will reduce the weight in 787 Dreamliner. So titanium, aluminum karui yo, aluminum wakaru ka? Aluminum karui na. Titanium karui yo. Composite, carbon composite karui. Graphite composite karui. So those are technology, but demo ちょっと高いね。値段は。But it will achieve the the objective of trying to save the environment, fossil fuel and so on. Okay, so that is in product design, and we can go on and on. You can find other examples of design. Okay, I'm not going to. I'm just going to show you, not for you to do the calculation. I'm just showing you that there is a method for making decisions, because in in making decision we need to have a method. If you read here, let me just laser pointer. Okay, so deciding design alternatives using design for disassembly, cost benefit analysis. Okay, so this cost benefit analysis focus on reuse and recycle. So it gives an example of two speaker designs. One is harmonizer here, and the other one is rocker. Okay, so harmonizer one design, rocker second design. You need to collect data on this, resale value, revenue collected from recycling, processing cost, disposal cost. So this is the cost components. Okay, cost components, and also the the revenue as well. Okay, for doing analysis. So this is the resale revenue, recycling revenue. This is the processing cost for dismantling. This is the disposal cost. So if you continue with the analysis, very simple. It's just design for disassembly. The revenue retrieval is this formula: resale revenue plus recycling revenue minus cost, minus disposal cost, minus processing cost. So in this case, revenue retrieval for harmonizer is going to be $22.13 and rocker $11.41. Okay, so obviously it's very straightforward, right? You can actually make a decision on. So the harmonizer is a better environmentally designed alternative because it has higher revenue retrieval. Higher revenue retrieval means you can gain that, okay, retrieve that revenue or the income if you resale or recycle it. But note that this analysis, the team doing the analysis is assuming both products have same market acceptance, profitability, environmental impact. Okay, it's just on the resale, recycling, processing. It's just a method of trying to make decisions, okay, on whether we can, which one to have a better design for this assembly. Okay. Questions? Any questions? So it's just a method, and I'm just trying to make you aware that we can complicate this. Complicate means you can add in more variables and make it more to the real world. Real world, then of course you need more variables. This is just and there's a lot of other assumptions. Okay. Okay. Okay, and it goes the same thing in production process. We want to reduce the amount of resources in the production process. Simple. Energy usage, water usage, environmental contamination. So we want to reduce costs and environmental concerns. So advanced companies, good companies will actually have activities that actually towards this. For example, PepsiCo developed resource conservation, which is called Recon. It's a diagnostic tool which actually assess and analyze water consumption and energy consumption in global sites, okay, around the world. So by using this diagnostic tool, the first 2 years, they have identified 2.2 billion liters of water savings, which comes to almost a cost savings of 2.7 million. Okay, so imagine how much waste we are generating in our production process. Okay, because people don't care. People just assume we will have water until we die for the rest of our life or for the next generation. Okay, so this is trying to ensure sustainability in the production process. Even if the production has already started, activities can be done to actually to make sure that effective usage of energy, electricity, gas, okay, or whatever materials. Gas can be many gases being used by companies, not only what they call for burning purposes, but oxygen, nitrogen, so all type of gases. So the idea is to reduce the cost and also environmental concerns. Right, and then we move on. So you can see the supply chain process. I mean, right from design, product design, then production. Okay, of course we can go to raw material. Okay, how we actually extract the raw material is also should be sustainable. We cannot just take all the materials. Okay, and in logistics, you can reduce costs by efficient route and delivery networks. You can do mathematical programming, or you can do simulation, or you can buy inexpensive fuel. And you can do analysis as well for that. Okay, you can do analysis. For example, life cycle ownership cost is, an analysis. It's actually break-even analysis. Okay, it's just a break-even analysis. Nothing difficult. It's just okay. I just explain briefly, but you must follow me here. Okay, what is this vehicle? How many vehicles we have here? So I'm trying to logistic. This is actually delivery. Okay, delivery of let's see the. So Blue Star is starting a new distribution service that delivers auto parts to the service departments of auto dealerships. That means they're going to use 2 vehicles. They want to say they are trying to decide which vehicle actually. Okay, either Ford or Honda city van. Okay, so they have found 2 light duty trucks that would do the job well. So they want to pick one of them. And the assumption is this, the cost to buy, so there is a fixed cost. Okay, fixed cost to buy. For example, Ford, 28,000. Honda, 32,000. It uses regular unleaded. This uses also regular unleaded. And it has battery because it's hybrid. Okay, this is the efficiency. This is the cost, operating cost per mile. The total life cycle cost for each of them, okay, is the cost of vehicle plus life cycle cost of fuel plus life cycle operating cost, and the assumption is 8 years. Okay, the life of this what they call vans is 8 years. Annual distance is 22,000 miles. The gas price is $4.2 per gallon. Okay, these are the assumptions. So you can calculate total life cycle for Ford Tri-Van is 28,000 plus 22,000 miles per year divided by 24 miles per gallon times 4.25 times 8 years plus 22,000 per year, miles per year times 0.2. So the operating cost is 20 cents per mile for 8 years. So you'll get 94,000. Are you following? Minasan, wakaru ka? Miho. Wakarimasu ka?
Um, I can follow $28,000 and
28,000, okay, plus 31,000.
miles. But how's plus 22,000
Plus,
a year?
plus the third one. So first one is cost. Second one is fuel. Third one is
Yeah.
operating cost. So
Okay.
operating
Thank
cost
you.
is 22,000 miles times 20 cents per mile. 22 times 0.2 for Ford. Okay, this one is for Ford. Okay, this
Yeah,
is
I can
Ford.
understand. Yeah,
So
thank you.
94,000 is the total life cycle cost for 8 years, because I'm going to use it for 8 years. Okay. So once I've done that, I need to also do for Honda. So I've done for Ford Tri-Van. So it gives me 94,367. So I can do the same thing for Honda. Okay, which gives me 90,000. So so what will you do? Which one you buy, Akiko?
Honda.
Why?
Why?
Naze? Who knows the answer? Why?
Why?
Okay, anyone else want any? Why you want to choose Honda? Anyone?
Because life cycle ownership cost is cheaper than
Yes.
Ford one.
Tri-Van. Because total life cycle cost is cheaper than Ford Tri-Van. 90,000 is cheaper than 94,000. Common sense, logic. Okay, it's okay. This is a simple analysis of ownership cost related to itu ni. Kono van yo. this truck, okay? Logistics, you want to find out. Of course, we didn't do the other, route and what, but this is just the basic ownership cost of owning that truck for 8 years. Okay, so it's cheaper. Which you have already answered the first question. And we can actually do more analysis. So what is the break-even point? Break-even is when the total cost of the van equals to the Honda, which is actually 95,000 miles. And how long to recover or recoup the investment, which is the payback period. So you can actually 95,000 payback period is the break-even divided by the estimated mileage per year. Okay. So 4.32 years, you can recoup back. Recoup means to recover back your investment. Okay. So after that, it's already paid back. Okay. This one a lot of, I mean, financial analysis commonly you can do more advanced financial analysis. This sorry kantan financial analysis, very easy financial analysis. Okay. Right. So we have come to the end of our life product. Okay, product already, you use your car already 15 years, end of life. So what you do? Throw away. No, you recycle. Today we have the so-called closed loop supply chain, closed loop supply chain, or reverse logistics. If you look in the book, there is an example on page 241. 241, which actually describe this assembly line. This assembly line. Okay, this assembly line production car, they disassemble. Not assemble, disassemble line. Take the parts apart and sort it out. Okay, this is plastics. This is metal. This. Okay, there's just a few more slides. Only just like a few more slides, 5-6 more slides. So I've been talking about sustainability, and it's relating to corporate social responsibility. That means companies must produce products or do business so that they are sustainable. They are responsible to the society, environment, and also towards their profitability, okay, financial sustainability. And in terms of regulations and industry standards, almost all product design, there will be a lot of regulations, okay, like like the vaccine for the COVID. It is actually under FDA, Food and Drug Administration. Okay, we need to comply to all the requirements. So new product, vaccine is a new product. COVID vaccine is totally new product, right? So, and also it must comply to Consumer Product Safety Commission. Okay, what is the adverse effects on humans and so on. Okay, airlines, they have this regulated by Air Transport Association organization. Motor vehicle, National Highway Safety Administration will all the vehicles, the trucks, the automobiles, the motorcycles. So product design, all products have law, okay, before they can actually being used by consumers, right? Okay. For manufacturing also, there are regulations that companies must follow or abide. So manufacturing assembly activities. So product design, some of the product, there are laws also. But for manufacturing, they have their own set of standards, including OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration Act or law, which actually regulates and provides regulation and requirements for ensuring safety condition, safety practices being followed and also being adhered to by companies. Okay, EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. Of course, different countries will have this. This is mainly US regulation, but all countries will have their own set of standards. Even state and local agencies, in terms of where you can actually locate your facilities, your factories. Okay. And especially laws that actually regulate workers' rights and also employment standards. For example, benefits, salaries, wages. These are also related to corporate social responsibility, which we have not discussed, right? Correct. I mean, wages and so on, salaries, and also employment standards. How many working hours, how many working days, how many holidays are you entitled for overtime? I know many companies ask you to work after the hours and don't give you overtime. Do you know overtime? Overtime, okane marau ka? or only limit. How many hours after that? No, no overtime pay, for example. Okay, so that's workers' right. Company want to make profit, maximize profit. So if they use, they must have fairness to the people as well. Fair, you know, fairness, fair to everyone. This is also for human, he will be fair. And other newer one, newer disassembly, dispose of hazardous products, okay, like nuclear products. Okay, those, they have laws for this. They have all the regulations that that companies must actually abide with. Okay, like I mentioned just now, end of life. Okay, design for disassembly. What else? I pick up this from the book actually. Nearly all industries have regulations. For example, in US, commercial builders, I mean contractors that build buildings, commercial buildings, required to manage water runoff during the construction. Water runoff is, when there is no, when you cut off trees, there's only sand or soil, water runoff. And also have pollution prevention plan during the construction. Public drinking systems must meet Federal Safe Drinking Water Act arsenic standards. Okay, the level of arsenic that actually exists in, raw water. So you must have ways of removing these hazardous material, components. Hospitals must meet Resource Conservation and Recovery Act. In US, they are governed by this Resource Conservation Recovery Act, which governs storage and handling of hazardous materials in hospitals. For example, today we talk about COVID. COVID very, very dangerous. So how do they actually, manage the test kits and also all the apparels that they use? Okay, so where do they dispose, right? So all industries have regulation. Food industry have regulation, food standards, GMP, good manufacturing practice. Okay, and so on. And a very, very and other standards that actually international environmental policies and standards. I'm not going to go all the, I'm going to mention just one. Have you heard of ISO 14,000? ISO 14,000. Kita kotorimasu ne. Okay, so this is actually the world standard for environmental management, which actually, well, they have this. So if you want to know more detail, life cycle assessment, correct, standard ni, you can find it in the standard. So it gives outline standard about environmental management principles and practices. How companies should actually design their environmental management system. Okay, environmental management system in company. So they must have auditing system in place. They must have performance evaluation of their environment. How good are they practicing environmental management activities? Okay, and there is also environmental labeling in their products. Okay, what is, how safe is their products, and how is it energy efficient? Okay, all these things are also under the environmental management system standard. So the advantage is, if a company has ISO 14,000, that means my company is certified. Do you know certified? That means I get certification. I set a system, then I apply to certification body. Body will actually certify, a standards body or a company. For example, Lloyd's register, or even in Britain, British Standards Institute, BSI. So if you have certified, that means your company is ISO 14000 certified. The advantage is all this, good image, public good image, good systematic approach to pollution prevention, because you have a system for environmental management and you comply with regulatory requirements. Regulatory requirement, that means if your process uses water, and how do you actually manage the water consumption? If you use water, how do you check the water, what do you call, quality, water quality? So you have, system in place, and you'll be competitively advantaged because, I have a system, and will reduce the need for multiple audits. That means if there are companies who want to audit environmental management system, you can actually say, I have ISO 14000. Okay. And also the ISO 14001, okay, just to make you clear, the standard used for certification is 14001. 14000 is the generic name for all the environmental management system standard. Okay. But if you want to be certified, you will be certified to 14001 because this is the environmental management systems requirements. Requirements. That means it will tell you what you should have. And also it's guidance to minimize harmful effects on the environment. So normally some companies would take like 1 or 2 years to actually implement ISO 14000 from beginning until, end. Well, very fast also 1 year. Fast also 1 year, but consultant will do it for you. Like Miho will, can do consultancy for 14,000 company. Are there companies that actually you help to do 14,000? ISO 14,000? Mihoko? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you're very well aware.
Yes.
Yoku wakaru ne, 14,000 ne. Okay. Right. So that is my, I think this is only the thing that I have for you for 9. Sure. Okay. So so any questions? Any questions that you, or something that you want to share, Miyoko, anything that you want to share with some people, your experience, sharing of experience, Iyo, got any experience to share with, with me and with the rest of the people, students? We have some time. We have about like 10 minutes for us to, or any questions? Or you want me to show video? Amiru ka? Mimas ka? This one I wanted to show you just now. Dasani bottle caps made with recycled plastic. Okay, so I googled just now, and this is, so companies around the world are using sustainable agenda, very strong. It's very new actually, because when I started working in 1983, sustainable nayo sustainable concept mada arimasen. Demo ima wa taksan arimasu yo. Taksan. 例えばね、これね、PepsiCo、同じか。Water, okay. You can read. If you know English, that's why English is very important language. Very important. You can browse the internet and see hundreds, thousands of what do you call, sustainability in product design, automotive. Toyota kah? Toyota ni show kah? Sustainability. Sustainability from Toyota, Asuka. Can read here. But of course you can read in Japanese if there's a Japanese company, but you know, if there are, not all companies are Japanese companies. Many companies are non-Japanese companies. Okay, German companies and so on. Okay. And sustainability development. Kita ko to arimasu ka? Kore mitaことありますか? OK。何ですか? これ。Akiko、これは何ですか?
SDGs icons.
Again?
SDGs icons.
SDG?
Yeah.
Icon. SDG icon。どういう意味ですか? これは何ですか? 本当はこれは何ですか?
The development goals for sustainability until 2030.
For who?
For who? Next
For who?
generation.
Generation, but who is supposed to do this? 誰が
Company?
今やってます? 誰やらなければならない?
Individuals and companies.
それから government でしょ?
Government.
government でしょ? Individual は This is the government, the UN's mandate for, you know, sustainable goal to transform our world. Our world is governed by government. Government must have, you know, for example, no poverty. So this is government agenda. Government must do this policy. Individual はもうできないよ。私もやらないよ。But my contribution is very small of the big goal. So as individual, yes, I will, you know, protect the environment. I will, you know, follow the law. But this is SDG Malaysia. Malaysia ありますか? SDG. ありますね。マレーシアもありますよ。マレーシアもありますね。Economic Planning Prime Minister Department。やってますか? やってないね。多分。はいはい。ありますね。でも、I don't know. Maybe they are doing it. Yes, maybe, but okay, we'll see. それはね、例えばね、gender equality. Japan must improve this. Gender equality. Japan is not good on 5. Clean water, maybe already. でしょ? Number 5 is a challenge for Japan. でしょ? Number 12, responsible consumption and production. This is what we're talking about when you talk about sustainability in manufacturing. Consume and produce. We consume material, but we have to make sure it is actually responsible. Number 12, responsible consumption and production. Number 11, sustainable city and communities. So challenge there, challenge. Huge challenge, big challenge. 2030 か? 2030はもう短いね。Okay, I don't have any other questions. You have any questions? Any ideas? Any questions? Any questions? Sure. 質問ないか? みんな心配ね。テストだから、テストがありますから、心配ね。美穂子、心配しないでください。
Maybe Shari sensei will get angry to me. Miho didn't study
No
much, so
angry. no, don't worry. Okay. So since I don't have any